presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are LA.
It's time for Angels Spring Training Baseball this afternoon from Tempe Diablo Stadium. The Angels are back home to host the Chicago Cubs. Beautiful day here in the Valley for Cactus League action. Angels are just a week away as far as the season opener. It'll be against the Cubs. Terry Smith along with Jose Mota. We also have a very special guest on this Monday. To my left is Dino Ebel, the Angels bench coach. And Dino, appreciate the visit here with you this afternoon. Let's talk about camp. What are some of the things that have excited you so far with just a couple more days left here in Arizona?
Well, Terry, it's been an outstanding camp. The guys are exciting, and they're ready to head back west. And things that really impressing for me this year is in camp is the offense. The offense has been really excited. Back to Angel baseball, like what I want to call it. You see a lot of first and thirds, the hit and runs, getting guys over, and high contact guys in our lineup that are going to put the ball in play, less strikeouts, and the middle of that order with the big boys in there swinging the bat. It's going to be an exciting thing to watch this year.
Dino, as we learned the week that Albert Pujols had his surgery on his right foot, he told both of us, I'm going to be playing first base before spring training is over. Here is the day he's at first base. How does that make you feel as a team?
Oh, it feels great. He works really hard. Everybody knows that. And when he says he's going to be ready, Albert Pujols knows his body better than anybody. And here he is today making his debut in spring training. And he's been fine. His foot's been good. His knee's really feeling good. And it's showing at the plate. He's got a great look in his face, in spring training. And it's showing at the plate. And it's exciting to have him back today.
I know you're pretty excited to have a good friend back in Ron Renicky. Tell me about the communication with Ron. What has been his biggest influence on you and on the team so far here?
Just having Ron back. We spent a lot of years together, and the knowledge that he has, him and Buddy Black, we're talking baseball as soon as we get here in the morning at 6:45, and it's situation, it's how we get better. Guys giving signs, running the bases, secondary leads, and me, I'm asking questions on managing, and he's done it, and it's just great to have him back in that clubhouse.
I mentioned opening day is a week away. We'll take on the Cubs at the Big A. Any concerns at all about the Angels starting rotation going into the start of the regular season?
Well, we have depth with our five guys, just naming them off with Richards and Skaggs and Weaver and Shoemaker, Santiago, Tropiano. Skaggs, is looking really good. He pitched the other day, felt good. Our bullpen's going to be good. It's all about pitching for me. When you have to pitch, our starting pitching is going to have to get us into deep games and turn the ball over to the pin. And with our offense that I really like to score some runs. So right now, breaking camp, it looks good for us.
As you talk about breaking camp, what are the toughest roster decisions coming up for you guys in the next couple of days?
There's going to be some tough, questions. It's going to come down to the last probably 4 games in the Freeway Series, and the last one with the Cubs. Everybody in camp has had an outstanding camp. Everybody truly deserved to make the team, but it's going to come down to one guy on that offensive end. If it's an infielder, if it's an outfielder, this is what we're going through now, and they're making it tough on us, which is really good problem to have.
As we wrap things up, talk about the new faces in the front office, how things are gelling with the coaching staff.
Outstanding. Billy Epler, Steve Martone, these guys, Eric Chavez, which I knew from his days of playing. These guys are constantly with us, communicating with us, our morning meetings, after meetings, games. We have meetings after games, critiquing the game, going over scouting. I mean, it's just nice atmosphere in there. Everybody gets along. They're in there interacting with the players in the clubhouse. And so far, it's been a thrill to have them with us.
We'll let you go. I'm sure you're ready to get back to Southern California.
I'm ready. I heard it's raining back there. Wish we had it here once in a while, but it's not. But I'm ready to get back.
Well, the Angels and the Chicago Cubs today here at Tempe Diablo Stadium. Been a very good spring for the Angels. The Angels have won 5 in a row, 7 of the last 8. Only 2 losses for the Angels here in the last, 17, 18 games here in Cactus League play. We'll have the starting lineups, the start of today's game. It's the Angels and the Cubs. It's coming up from Tempe, and it's coming up next right here on Fox Sports West.
Fans are ready here at Tempe Diablo Stadium. Angels against the Cubs, and it is absolutely packed over here as spring training and Cactus League action winds down. So glad you could be with us in this wonderful, cloudy, breezy day. It's supposed to be some gusting winds all throughout. It could be a very challenging day to pitch as the winds are blowing out straight towards center field. Angels and the Cubs getting ready to go. And for the Cubs, they're managed by the National League Manager of the Year, our good friend Joe Madden. Always a big smile on his face. He's got Ben Zobrist, his big free agent acquisition, leading off at shortstop. Batting second, a bigger acquisition of Jason Hayward. Hayward is in center field, batting second. Chris Bryant, sensational rookie season as expected, is at third base, batting third. Anthony Rizzo, one of the best in his position. Rizzo is at first base, batting fourth. Batting fifth is Jorge Soler, having a slow spring, about 3 home runs in 6 hits overall. Soler is in right field, batting fifth. Batting sixth is Miguel Montero, always solid beyond the plate. The catcher, Tommy La Stella, bats seventh. He is at second base. Albert Almora is a young left fielder. He's batting eighth, and the pitcher will bat here in this American League ballpark. Kyle Hendricks is a pitcher. He is batting ninth. For the Angels, their starting lineup is brought to you by McDonald's. I'm loving it. Yunel Escobar in his hot bat is at third base leading off, batting second. Ji-Man Choi. There's more about him. Choi is today in left field. Keep an eye on that move. Batting third is Mike Trout in center. Batting fourth, Albert Pujols at first base. Yes, sir. First base for Pujols, batting fourth. First game of the spring for Pujols. Positioning there. Cole Calhoun Rojo is batting fifth in right field. Anderson Simmons, shortstop, batting sixth. Carlos Perez is behind the plate, batting seventh. Giovanni Soto, designated hitter, swinging a hot bat for the Angels. Soto is batting eighth, and Johnny Giovatella is batting ninth at second base. For the Angels on the mound, right-hander Nick Tropiano. Terry, keep your eye on the baseball. It could get lost seeing the cloudy skies, a little gray, but certainly we know one thing. It's going to be challenging without wind for everybody in that field.
Yeah, it's going to be tough on the pitchers the way it's blowing out. You get a ball up in the air, and that jet stream might carry it on out of Tempe Diablo Stadium. Umpires today will have Gabe Morales calling balls and strikes, and on the bases, Kerwin Danley, Jim Reynolds, and Rob Drake. The mentions here at Tempe Diablo. It goes 340 down the left field side, 420 to dead center. Down in the right field corner, 360. And in the alleys in left center and right center field, 400 feet. Angels with one more Cactus League game. That's tomorrow. That'll be here, and that'll start an hour earlier against the Cleveland Indians. Angels will be off on Wednesday, kind of a travel day back to Southern California. And then the Angels will play 4 straight exhibition games back in Southern California. 3 against the Dodgers, couple at Dodger Stadium, 1 against the Dodgers at the Big A. Angels will also play these Cubs on Sunday at the Big A in an exhibition game. And a week from today, next Monday, April 4th, opening day, Angels hosting the Cubs. We're ready for baseball this afternoon. The first pitch from Tropiano right in there. And it's no balls and 1 strike on Ben Zobrist. 84 degrees, overcast here, and the next pitch, cut and a miss. Count jumps to 0-2. Zobrist has had a pretty good spring for the Cubs. He's hitting .303, but he has not driven in a single run this spring. And here's the next pitch. That's way high and outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Tropiano will depend a lot more today on that off speed. He's got the wind against him, which could be very favorable as long as he keeps the ball down to get a little more tumbling effect, especially in that changeup.
Here's the 1-2, and he tried to pick at the outside corner and just missed with that one.
He's got the fastball, 2-seamer, 4-seamer. Or that sinker could also just have it tail away. Changeup, slider, curveball.
Here's the next delivery, and that one is hit a ton, but way foul down the right field side. Zobrist, one of the new additions for the Cubs here in 2016. He was a free agent during the offseason. A lot of teams had interest in him. He signed a 4-year deal with the Cubs. He's reunited with Joe Madden. They used to be together with the Rays. Counts even on him, and here's the 2-2. That's off speed and low, so it's a full count. Defensively, the Angels have Pujols over at first with Giamatello at second, Escobar at third, and Simmons at short. Choi in left, Trout in center, Calhoun in right. Perez catching, Soto DHing, Tropiano pitching. And on the 3-2, a little bit low. Ball 4.
That's what Ben Zobrist does. He'll give you a good at bat, pretty solid all the way around, and just a little extra movement downward perhaps cost Tropiano not getting that call, but certainly it speaks as to how good an eye Ben Zobrist does have.
So here is Jason Hayward. He's playing center field for them today. Dexter Fowler is not in their lineup. And here's the pitch. It's a little bit low.
Hayward made the national news and highlights yesterday for a reason that's not related to baseball. It happened on the baseball field, but he was stung about 10 times by bees during the game out in center field.
That was yesterday at their game in Mesa, Sloan Park.
Eventually, even after the stings, he went out and hit a 2-run homer.
1 ball, 1 strike, the count.
But we see that those episodes more and more here in spring training too, with the bees, and we saw it happen last year here, so it happened earlier at Surprise.
There's one chopped to second, looks like 2, flip to second, relay to first. It is the double play. Taylor made right at Giamatello to Simmons, over to Albert, and 2 are gone.
You can just see the confidence in Johnny Giamatello and the way he got rid of that ball. I mean, these are things that Alfredo Griffin, Gary DiSarcina have Gianni Giamatello and Anderson Simmons work on in batting practice. Even getting some balls hit off the bat in BP, which is not easy or comfortable sometimes, but boy, he was easy flow right to his shortstop.
There's a pitch that's in there for a called strike. Chris Bryant, the third baseman, at the plate for the Cubs. Rookie of the year in the National League last season, and the pitch. He takes that one a little bit low. Despite the fact that Bryant began last year in the minors, he still ended up playing 151 games for the Cubs.
Remarkable season.
Here's the 1-1, and that's a little bit low and away.
And besides that, he was the talk of spring training because he was absolutely tearing up the Cactus League. And the decision was going to become one, not based on performance, but based on business as to when they're going to call him up, because everybody pretty much knew he was not going to make the team.
It's that one sharply foul.
Unfortunately, it's like everybody knew they're not going to give him that full year to begin with. Nonetheless, he was a professional about it. Everybody in the organization went about it the right way, and he responded.
So 2 strikes on him. Bryant will strike out 199 Ks last year, and that one there, Tropiano thought he might have had him looking on that breaking ball. Called a ball by Gabe Morales, the home plate umpire.
There's 2 pitches that perhaps Tropiano thought he could have had.
So full count. Here comes the payoff delivery. That one is swung on and missed. Fooled him. Struck him out, and the inning is over. That's it for Chicago. We go to the bottom of the first. There's no score in Tempe on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West.
Give me
Fans, don't forget the Angels return to the Big A for exhibition games against the Dodgers on Saturday and against the Cubs on Sunday. Those dates, April 2nd against the Dodgers and April 3rd against the Cubs. Get your tickets today at angels.com or call 714-4ANGELS. Operators are standing by. So here is Yunel Escobar, Angels leadoff man, who's had a very good spring. He's hitting over 460 this spring, and he shows signs of bunting. Takes that one for strike one.
Have you noticed that Yunel Escobar always starts the game with a dirty right quad? His pants?
How's that happen?
Huh?
Did they forget to clean his pants?
No, this is part of what he believes in.
Okay.
Yep. Batting practice, he'll go out there and rub some dirt on that and say, you know what, I'm playing ball today. I'm going to start out dirty and hopefully get dirtier.
Here he chops one right to short. It's gobbled up by Zobrist, who's playing over there, and he'll throw him out.
So Terry's up to you and Mark Langston. Keep an eye on that during the regular season.
We will keep tabs on that, Jose.
Right quad. Little pine tar, little dirt.
Here's Ji-Man Choi, who's playing left field for the Angels, hitting out of the 2-hole. Choi hitting a little over 230 this spring.
This game, this at bat, Terry, this position in the order means a whole lot in terms of the decision that has to be made with Ji-Man Choi.
And he takes that one for a called strike.
Like Socha today earlier was saying, well, he's shown to us that he can defend left field. So let's take a look here today in game conditions.
And he cuts and misses that one. He's quickly in the hole. It's 0-2. Hendricks is not a guy who is going to overpower you. Here's the next pitch, and that one is a little bit outside. Fastball, top out around 91. Sinker, slider, curve. And he has a very good changeup.
He has to work hard to get the counts in his favor and to make him miss.
Here's Choi missing that pitch. The ball got away momentarily from Montero, and then he throws to first base, trying to complete the strikeout, and the throw gets away. So that's a gift base runner there for the Angels. Choi had struck out, but the catcher didn't handle the pitch, so they had to throw to first base, and it's going to be an error on Montero's throw.
You don't see that very often. You see a lot of Ks and wild pitch getting on base because of wild pitch, but you don't see a lot of strikeouts and getting on base because of an E2. Absolutely airmailed as first baseman Rizzo was anchored to the bag. Did not come off of it.
So the batter is Mike Trout. First time up today, takes that one for ball one. Trout hitting over 380 this spring, 3 homers, team high 14 driven in. Choi bluffed like he was going to go, and that pitch is taken for a strike. Kyle Hendricks started 32 games last year for the Cubs, had a complete game. 8-7 record, ERA 3.95, through 180 innings for them as Trout fouls that one off his foot, it appears. He's trying to walk it off outside the batter's circle. So 1-2 the count on the Angels all-star center fielder Mike Trout. Trout still yet to get back in the batter's box. We're in the bottom of the first, just underway, no score. Angels and Cubs will play each other a lot here over the next week or so, and the pitch. Trout lifts one high in the air into left field. It's not very deep at all. Rushing in hard and making the running catch is Albert Almora.
You know, there's times when you can look at that wind and it could fool you in many ways. It depends on when and how that ballpark is built as to when the flat of the ball is affected. Shortstop, Zobrist did not think that ball was going to be staying that shallow in left center field. Considering if you look at the flags and how they're blowing, that ball really in his eyes should have been pretty much in regular left field position and depth.
So here's Albert. 2 outs. Still at first base is Choi. And here's the pitch. That is a called strike on the outside corner.
Albert Pujols, as much as many people doubted him, said, not only am I going to be playing games in spring training and getting ready for the season, I will be playing first base before the end of spring training, and here it is.
There's a pitch he takes for a ball. 1-1.
This is after having surgery in November on his right foot. Never doubt number 5.
There's one a little bit low. Good stuff by Montero on that one. Kyle Hendricks is an Ivy Leaguer. He is a graduate of Dartmouth.
Smart man.
Yep.
Applying it out there on the mound.
Here's the next pitch, and that one missed. 3-1 the count. Hendricks at one time was in the Rangers organization. The Cubs acquired him back in 2013. Mentioned he's not overpowering. Here's the 3-1 on Albert. He drills one down the left field side. It is a foul ball. Boy, just inches foul. So Choi is all the way at third. He wasn't sure if it was fair or foul or not. Ron Renicky says, no, G-man, you got to get back to first base.
Hey, Almora also in left field was playing that ball like I had been fair. I think Choi threw a decoy on the left fielder, too. I think G-man just wants to show off his legs a little bit. He's all pumped up. Batting second today for the Angels on the big team. Playing little left field.
So a full count here on Pujols. If Albert gets on, Cole Calhoun up next. Here's the pitch. It's drilled into left center field. Chasing after is Hayward. He's not going to get to it. Ball smacks off the wall. Troy is going to be waved home. He will score. And at second with a stand-up 2-out RBI double is Pujols. 1-0 Angels.
And it's pretty much, here we go again. The Angels take advantage of the error by the catcher on what would have been out number 2. And for Albert Pujols, working counts, allowing the ball to travel, staying through the box, staying through the middle, big part of the field after pulling a ball foul is pretty much what we've seen from him all spring long now. 11 RBIs for Albert Pujols.
And again, another first inning run scored by the Angels. The Angels have been averaging about 6.5 runs a game this spring. And the Angels have one of the best spring training records anywhere right now. Not the best, but not too far from it. 15-8-4. Angels have won 5 in a row. 7 of the last 8 have only lost 2 of the last 17 games this spring. Here's the pitch. That one is fouled back behind the plate.
And we know the numbers, could mean nothing here in camp, in the Cactus League especially, how they're going to be a little inflated on the offensive side. But, Terry, the encouragement is how guys are having good at-bats. Good passes through the zone, working counts, a lot of action on the bases, and taking advantage of windows provided by the opponents. Angels come into this game batting .314 as a team, best in the American League.
Here's the pitch on Cole Calhoun, and on that 0-2, he takes a called third strike. He is out looking, and that's how the inning will end. A couple strikeouts in the inning, as it turns out, for Hendricks. Angels get an unearned run and lead it 1-0 as we go to the second on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Fans, don't forget, be a winner and play at the Gardens Casino and the Gardens Casino New Omaha Progressive Jackpot. Visit thegardenscasino.com for more info, and please play responsibly. Anthony Rizzo will lead it off. Left-handed hitting first baseman for the Cubs. And here's the first pitch from Tropiano. It's lined and caught by Albert. Perfect positioning over there at first base to nab that liner.
Well, he wanted to be tested. He was tested in many ways. Timing the jump, tracking that baseball, getting up on his feet, and also landing. So welcome back to the field in that dirt, Albert Pujols.
Soler will be the batter in this copyrighted broadcast presented by Authority of Angels Baseball. May not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of today's game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Angels Baseball. Here's the first pitch on Soler, and he lifts one high in the air into right center field. Not very deep, circling under, waiting, and putting it away is Cole Calhoun. 2 quick outs here in the top of the second. Montero, the catcher, will be the next batter. Montero, a left-handed hitter. Been an all-star a couple of times. He hit .248 for the Cubs last year. Had 15 home runs.
He's a player that continues to be very popular here in the Phoenix area because of his solid seasons with the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Here's the pitch, and he takes that one for a called strike.
Not that many times when you see a catcher leading a team in games played, but that was the case with Montero in one of his seasons with the D-backs. Catcher leading the team in games played in a season.
There's a pitch he takes low and outside. He's had the reputation in the past of being a pretty solid defensive catcher, good at framing pitches, although last season he led all catchers in the majors with 12 errors. And the pitch, he chops this one on the first base side. Fair ball. It's fielded by Albert. He will easily beat Montero to the bag. And quick 1-2-3 inning. A clean inning for Tropiano in the second. Just 5 pitches in the inning. We're headed to the bottom of the second. It's 1-0 Angels on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Angels ready to bat. Bottom of the second we go. First batter up for the Halos will be Andrelton Simmons, the shortstop. Rez and Soto will follow. Here's the first pitch. That's in there for a called strike. Simmons hitting a little over 300 this spring for the Angels. He's had a home run And the next pitch grounds that one through the right side. Even though Rizzo was playing way off the bag, it was still to his right in between him and the second baseman Listell, and it rolls softly into right field for the leadoff single. So here's Carlos Perez. Around the infield for the Cubs, they have Anthony Rizzo at first. Tommy LaStella is the second baseman. Chris Bryant at third with Ben Zobrist at short. Albert Almora, highly touted outfield prospect for them, is in left field. Jason Hayward is playing center today. Jorge Soler is the right fielder. Miguel Montero is behind the plate, and Joe Madden has elected not to use the DH today, so the pitcher Hendricks slated to bat. Here's the pitch. That's grounded to short. This might be two. Flip to second. Relay on to first, and it is a double play. Right at Zobrist, even though it wasn't hit sharply, they still turn two with Perez running. And here's Giovanni Soto.
Well, Terry, we ran into the Simbas today. We were looking for them yesterday. We finally found them today. And they are part of the Anderton Simmons fan club. All this Simba movement started back in Atlanta. And it's good to see that we're able to catch them today and post for a couple of pictures. And boy, they were thrilled to be following Anderton all the way here to Tempe. What do you think? It's a little cooler to be wearing that today.
Yeah. I think it's a good look, Jose.
Yeah, yesterday we were talking
I don't know that I'm willing to try it, but it's a good look.
Maybe today with clouds. Yesterday was tough without sun in Peoria.
And meeting those young guys, they're students at what, Cal State Fullerton?
You better believe it.
Yeah.
So we're going to get a little extra love. Titans.
Here's the pitch. It's a little bit low on Soto.
Terry, just remember in spring training, you just never know which characters you're going to be running into.
The characters of the game, Jose.
They're here.
Here's the 3-1. Chopped on the third base side, a fair ball. Bryant has it. His throw to first is in time, and the Angels go down quickly and quietly here in the bottom of the second. So we're headed to the third. 1-0 Angels on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Top of the third we go. It is 1-0 in favor of the Angels as Nick Tropiano gets set to work. We'll check out the Dodge out-of-town scoreboard on this Monday in just a moment. It's brought to you by the Dodge Challenger. With an estimated 30 miles per gallon highway, this car was made for driving. Visit Dodge.com. And we'll check things out in the Florida Grapefruit League in just a moment. And here's the first pitch. This is La Stella batting, and he takes that one for a called strike. The count 0-1. Tommy La Stella played in 33 games for the Cubs a year ago. Used to be with the Atlanta Braves. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. La Stella is from the Garden State. He's from New Jersey. Here's the pitch, and that's inside. It misses for a ball.
Some of your time at the Jersey Shore as a youngster.
Right.
Had some summer jobs, some good stuff out there.
That's right. Spent some college summers in the Jersey Shore. You're absolutely right. There's one that's popped up down the left side. That's going to fall back to the seats and out of play.
Once again, there's a ball that perhaps in left field. You're thinking it's going to carry a little bit more. It's Choi gives it a shot. That ball pretty much started slicing away from him.
2 balls and 2 strikes to count on La Stella. Tropiano, who's from New York, delivers, and that one is high, so it's a full count. You know who are at the Jersey Shore a lot every year? The Gooby brothers.
Gooba's us.
That's right.
Oh, that's cool.
They are. Here's the pitch. That one is fouled off on the left side, backing out of play.
Learning more and more about this Philly influence.
That's right.
In fact, I'm learning more and more about those products that come out of Philly that are wrapped specially or something like that.
Yep. Little snack cakes. The pitch. There's a chopper by the mound and through into center field. So on a 3-2 payoff pitch, La Stella has the first hit for the Cubs today. I want to remind you, fans in attendance for the Angels opening series against the Chicago Cubs on Monday, April the 4th, and Tuesday, April the 5th, will receive a wall calendar. It's courtesy of U.S. Bank while supplies last. First pitch will be 7:05 both nights. Every fan matters. Purchase your tickets at angels.com or call 714-4-ANGELS. And operators are standing by. On the out-of-town scoreboard, brought to you by Dodge. Baltimore beat Boston 5-3. Reimold a home run for the Orioles, his 3rd this spring. There's one that's low, snap throw to first, and back to the bag goes La Stella. Had a game postponed in Florida today, Miami and Washington. Minnesota 6-4 winners over the Pittsburgh Pirates. And Matt Joyce hit a home run for Pittsburgh. He's had 3 home runs this spring.
Matt Joyce he's trying to show, Terry, that there's still some baseball left in him, even if it's not as a full-time player.
St. Louis 3-1 win against the Mets. Holiday a home run, his first for St. Louis, and Toronto beat the Philadelphia Phillies today 2-1. 1 ball, no strikes to count.
Ideal here for a repertoire like Tropiano's. Get that ground ball.
There is a ground ball, but it's out of the reach of Simmons, and it'll roll out to Choi in left field.
Well, look at the difference there. You get a ground ball that barrels up only because there's lack of movement downward, and there might have been some movement coming in, but certainly right into the barrel of Albert Zamora, aggressively swinging that stick.
So the pitcher will bat, Kyle Hendricks, and pretty safe to say he'll be bunting in this situation.
Boy, talk about things coming out perfectly for Joe Madden to get his pitcher some work. As he bats, here it is. Also for the Angels to go out there and put on a play right now. All those things that you work on spring training and then you abandon during the regular season, here it is.
So the Angels are creeping in at the corners, and there's a bunt try. It's fouled off by Hendricks. Hendricks is not a good hitting pitcher at all. In fact, last year he was 3 for 60. That's an .050 batting average.
Terry,
a lot of strikeouts.
Terry, if he helps his case by bunting, that is all Joe Madden wants.
Right.
The Angels have a lot of moving pieces. Anderton Simmons holding his ground at shortstop, but he is crashing. Got the wheel play on here.
Tropiano's next delivery, and that one is taken for a strike. So now Hendricks is deep in the hole, 0-2.
Pujols crashing in from first. so far so good, moving very well to first base. Johnny Givatella truly busting. First you come in and then you bust towards the bag. And you always guard against a guy that shows a bunt this early that perhaps Joe Madden can tell him, you know, show bunt, but go ahead and pull it back if you can and swing the bat.
He is around the bunt with 2 strikes and takes that one outside. Hendricks had 3 sacked bunts last year.
Still a little confusion at third base. I can see Escobar and Simmons on a wheel play. There really should not be 2 guys that close to the bag, but it's happened a couple times here as they get used to all these plays being put on here.
So the 1-2 pitch, and he tried to bunt that one and missed it, struck him out. So that's out number 1. Runner still at first and second, top of the batting order now, and Ben Zobrist.
That's a big out right there for Tropiano. And I'm glad that at least you're getting some of those corner calls now from Gabe Morales.
Yeah, the home plate umpire is known as a solid ball strike umpire. Here's Zobrist batting, and he chops this one on the first base side, and that is a fair ball. It's going to roll down the right side. They're going to get 1 run in, and they will have them at second and third. It's an RBI double. That one just stayed fair right up the first base side. It was hugging the line.
Oh, welcome to Arizona, especially this late. As for so many games, this is now into the high 20s in quantity of games. That's been played all throughout camps, and that ground is getting harder and harder. And Pujols, absolutely nothing you can do about this one. One hopper that ends up hopping a second time beyond the cut of the grass.
So the Cubs have had 3 hits in the inning, a run on the board. They're threatening to get more, and here's Hayward batting. He hit into a double play his first time up. First pitch, he cuts and misses that one for strike 1. Jason Hayward was a free agent, and the Cubs signed him this offseason. 8-year, $184 million deal. Here's the pitch. Chops it on the first base side, and that one's just foul. That would have been a couple runs had that ball dropped fair.
There's another big hop right by Pujols again. First base umpire this time is Rob Drake out of Whittier Christian.
The ball's 2 strikes. And here's the next pitch. That one on Hayward. He checks on it, and it misses a little bit low. Hayward, despite the fact he's put in a number of years already in the big leagues, he's only 26 years old.
He's a young man. I mean, you talk about timing for that type of contract for a guy that's not really supposed to be a real force offensively, but he does so many things right overall that he is a total package.
Yeah, his first 6 seasons in the majors, he's averaged 16 homers and 58 RBIs a year, yet he signed a $184 million deal.
Timing and perception is everything in this business.
There's one a little bit low.
And he came up with the Braves with a promise. I mean, the projection of being a guy with 35, 40 home runs, big RBIs, but I'll tell you what, he's a difference maker on the field. He's a difference maker with that defense, the arm, positioning, base running, you name it. Cashed in.
He hit 27 home runs in the 2012 season, but the last 3 years he's totaled 38 homers. And there's one that he tips foul right near the plate. 2-2 the count on him.
He's a player that truly fits into Theo Epstein with the Cubs, Joe Madden, everything that they are about. Originally signed to play center field, which is really not his best position or the one he's played the most. But now Dexter Fowler's back in the mix as their center fielder, and Fowler out with a side injury occurred yesterday. And Hayward back in center for now.
2-2, a little bit low. Full count. It's a 1-1 ball game. We're in the top of the third. Jose mentioned Hayward's defense, and he is very solid. 3 Gold Gloves already in his career. Here's the pitch, and he hits one high, and he hits it deep in the right, and that one is going to get out. No doubter. That's the 4th home run that Tropiano has given up this spring, and for Hayward, that's his 3rd. That breaks the tie, and now it's 4-1 Chicago.
Well, Hayward came into this game hitting under 200. Couple of home runs, and with one swing, quickly mistake by Tropiano up in the zone. A solid at bat all the way around for Jason. Pretty much wrapped it around the strike zone. Both hands on that bat, and that ball carried.
So it's turning into a rough inning here for Tropiano. Faced 5 batters, 4 of them have hits. And 4 of them have scored, and there's one fouled off out of play. 0-1 here on Chris Bryant.
One of the great faces of the game right now. Young, crisp, fresh face, Chris Bryant.
Here's one that's chopped right to short, handled there by Simmons. His throw is in time over to Albert, and that'll be the 2nd out. Easy play. Anthony Rizzo will be the batter. Now, what was it, Brian, who just chopped out a week or so ago? He masqueraded at Mesa Community College. He had it set up with the head coach, and they're very successful. They're one of the best junior college baseball programs in the country. But Bryant came in for their afternoon drills, getting ready for their next game, and the coach announced they had a new transfer from Europe, and he had just cleared all the obstacles as far as being eligible to play, and coach said this guy is going to be an impact player. We know we have a good team, but we think this guy can help us, so we're going to put him right on our roster. And it turned out to be Chris Bryant. He took batting practice during their workout, and the players were in awe. And then finally, they let the whole team in on the joke that he was pulling.
It was great. Yeah. He's been involved in a couple of things like that, making others feel comfortable off the field. He was a driver one time.
He was a Lyft driver.
Yes, he drove for Lyft.
And he was picking up passengers and asking them if they had ever heard of Chris Bryant of the Chicago Cubs. Here's the 3-0. And that one is hit very high and deep down the right field side. Calhoun is going to run out of room, it looks like, and it is gone. Right down the right field corner. You don't see a whole lot of home runs hit down that corner here at Tempe Diablo. It's 360 down there. So a solo shot increases the Cubs' lead to 5-1.
These young Cubs will do this. They will take you deep. They'll enjoy and have fun. Joe Madden says, you know, the bullseye is on us, and I've told my team, enjoy it. Thrive on it. That means the people believe that we are a good ball club. Anthony Rizzo, just solid performer all the way around.
That was his 3rd home run this spring as Soler bats and misses a breaking ball for strike 1.
You know, the story that we should never forget about Rizzo, Terry, is the fact that he was diagnosed with classical Hodgkin's lymphoma back in 2008. And my goodness, he's been with 3 organizations now. Also came out with a lot of promise, a can't miss guy, and he has been tremendous for Chicago.
Here's the next pitch, the 1-1 that's low and outside.
You know, and once again, I say that because it's relates to somebody else going through something like that. He has served to encourage many going through the same things he faced, to keep the courage, keep the faith. What a great example, young man he is.
There's a strike on the outside corner, 2-2. Yeah, Rizzo, when he was diagnosed back in 2008, underwent 6 months of chemotherapy and now is cancer-free. The 2-2, that's outside. Full count.
Not exactly the way Nick Tropiano or the Angels themselves, a little thin with their starting rotation right now. Want to see things develop at this point.
And the next delivery, it's fouled back behind the plate. We have 2 outs in the inning. Tropiano did not allow any hits or runs in the first 2 innings, but here in the third, he's facing his 8th batter. And the Cubs have had 5 hits and scored 5 runs. A couple home runs in this inning. Here's the payoff pitch. Chopped out to short. This should be the inning. Fielded by Simmons. His throw right on the money, and that'll do it for Chicago. A 5 spot for them here in the third. We go to the bottom of the third inning. It's 5-1 Cubs on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Angels have a little catching up to do, down 5-1 as we go to the bottom of the third inning. Johnny Giavotella gets ready for his first at bat of the day. 9-hole hitter takes the first pitch in there for strike 1. Giavotella, Escobar, and Choi, the first 3 up for the Angels here in the third. Hendricks set, next pitch. That over the top delivery, and that one misses outside. Here's the next pitch. That's a liner that's going to drop over the head of the shortstop and into shallow left field. Just cleared Zobrist with that one. Giavotella is on. Leadoff hit. Angels' third hit so far this afternoon. And here's Escobar.
As Mike Scioscia keeps saying about Johnny Giavotella, this guy just comes out to play the game and to get better. And that whole season in the big leagues, first full season, really has served him well, because Mike Scioscia says, I see a guy with more confidence. I see a guy that understands his role, and I see a guy that wants to help us in any way possible, in Johnny Giavotella now at first base.
Escobar grounded out to short his first time up. Giavotella draws a throw and dives back to the bag at first.
Jerry, we've seen Yunel Escobar go 0 for his last 4. What's going on here?
Yeah.
We're asking for too much, I guess.
Yep. Runner goes, pitch grounded on the right side, and it hits Giavotella. The base runner going from first to second, so he's automatically out. It'll end up being a single for Escobar, but Giavotella, the base runner, was struck by the batted ball in play, so he's out.
Well, Escobar found a way to get his hit. Came into this game hitting .468, and for Johnny Giavotella not looking in, it's costly there for him. Boy, Yunel Escobar, you talk about some bat control, something he does in batting practice, shooting holes the other way, pretending there's some guys moving, and calling his own shot sometimes. He did it right there, just the way he practiced. Unfortunately, it found his teammate.
Hey, you don't see that happen very often. And there's a pitch that's a little bit outside. The put out gets credited to the closest fielder where the runner was struck, so the out will go to Listella, the second baseman. Here's the pitch, and that one is a pitch that missed, and then a snap throw up the first base side. Diving back goes Escobar. 2-0 on G-Man Choi. He reached base in the first inning on a strikeout. Here's the pitch. This is bounced in front of the plate. That's a fair ball. They'll flip the second one, and Choi did not run out of the box, so he's going to be doubled up, and that's how the inning will end. A double play wraps up things here in the Angels' bottom of the third. We're headed to the fourth inning. It is 5-1 Cubs on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Top of the fourth inning here in Tempe. The Angels are trailing the Cubs 5-1. Fans, keep up to date on all things Angels baseball by liking and following the Angels on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Find out how to follow your favorite Angels players at angels.com/connect. Last half inning was one of those oddities of the game. The Angels sent only 3 batters to the plate.
Okay.
2 of them had hits.
Beautiful.
And the inning ended with only 3 batters batting. How does that happen?
It happens at any given ballpark at any time. Just when you're not expecting it.
Inning started off with a single, and Escobar got a single on the ball that was bounced on the right side that struck Giavotella running to second. And then the third batter in the inning hit into an inning-ending double play. No runs, 2 hits, no errors. 3 batters bat, and nobody left on base. Here's a high fly ball lifted by Montero to right field, and right near the rim of the track, making the grab on that one is Cole Calhoun. One away. Here's Listella stepping up. He singled and scored. Came in on the RBI double by Zobrist last inning. Cubs got all 5 of their runs last inning in the top of the third.
It all started with one very solid at bat and approach by Listella.
And he swings and fouls that one off on the left side, backing out of play.
And it's pretty much what we saw there. Thinking, staying back on the off speed, protecting the outer half because of that tailing fastball. It stayed right through the box.
Here's the next pitch, and this one is hit well into center field. Backpedaling, under and waiting, and making the catch a few feet from the rim of the track in dead center is Trout. So one Jersey boy retired by another Jersey boy.
Got it. A lot easier to tracking the ball here today in the air. And the wind has been up and down. Some gusts once in a while all around the Phoenix area. But we've seen some tough days here, Terry, with the sun lately, where the Angels had to actually spend extra time doing drills with the machines facing the sun for the outfielders here a few days ago.
Almora is the batter with 2 outs. He misses a breaking ball for strike 1. He was in Double-A last year. He's one of their better young position players. He's an outfielder. He's only 21 years old. And he hit .272 last year in Double-A. Had 8 hits for the Cubs this spring. They've taken an extended look at him. He's not going to make their opening day roster. Here's the 1-1, and he cuts and misses that off-speed pitch. It's 1-2.
They have so much young talent. I mean, Javier Baez is not here. Addison Russell, a spectacular young shortstop, is not here today.
Schwarber's not here.
Oh, they're loaded. Young.
Next pitch. That's low and outside.
As much as people wanted to knock down Schwarber and the defense and the issues he had in the playoffs last year, Joe Madden from the very end of that playoff said he is our left fielder next year, so he's going to work at it.
And there's one that's low and outside, so Almora has worked a full count here against Tropiano.
There's one thing, Terry, we learned about Schwarber. He can hit a ball a long ways.
Here's the payoff pitch, and that's ball 4. It is low and outside. Second walk surrendered by Tropiano. And the pitcher, Kyle Hendricks, will be the next batter.
Well, that's one walk that you can kind of accept here with 2 outs, as you'd have the pitcher coming up. And as Terry already mentioned, previous at bat, Hendricks not a good hitter and did not even look good when he was attempting to bunt with first and second, nobody out.
Here's the pitch. He takes that one a little bit low, and that's going to get Carlos Perez out to the mound and have a word with Tropiano. A week from today, opening day, Angels and Cubs at the Big A. Game time 7:05. They'll play a week from tomorrow as well on the 5th of April. Just a 2-game series. The Angels will play the Cubs in Chicago in early August. That'll be a 2-game series at Wrigley. And that'll be on a Tuesday and Wednesday, August 9th and 10th. Here's the pitch. Grounded sharply on the left side and just out of the reach of the diving Simmons. It'll skip on out to G-Man Choi. So that's a 2-out hit. We mentioned Hendricks is not a good hitter, but he just got a hit right there. And that'll be the top of the order stepping up. Let's pause for stations to identify themselves on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. So here's Zobrist batting, 2 outs, 2 on, and he looks at one over for a strike.
You know, you were saying about Hendricks last season, 3 for 60, and you were also just talking about the oddities of the game.
There you go.
There's one. A 2-out walk. Hopefully it will not backfire here.
There's a pitch low and taken for a ball, 1-1. So yeah, probably the worst hitter for either team today, and he gets a hit.
Is that our great game or what? Would you like to say our grand game of baseball?
It's a grand game. Oh yeah. There's one that's a little bit low, 2-1. Breeze has died down a little bit. Very overcast. It's going to be chilly here in the valley tomorrow. They're saying the high will be around the mid-60s tomorrow. And that'll be for the Angels' final Cactus League game.
We will have an earlier start tomorrow as the Angels take on the Cleveland Indians. Trevor Bauer will be on the mound against Garrett Richards.
First pitch tomorrow, just a little bit after 12 noon. Next delivery, hit high in the air and hit deep into right field. Cole Calhoun is back, has a play. He'll make the catch. A couple feet from the rim of the track. The inning is over. 3 fly ball outs here in the top of the 4th. Bottom of the 4th is next. Still 5-1 Chicago on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Mike Trout will lead off the bottom of the 4th. That's where we're headed here in Tempe. 5-1 in favor of the Chicago Cubs. Trout, Pujols, and Calhoun meet in the batting order against Kyle Hendricks. And here's the pitch. It's a little bit low and away on Trout. 1 ball, no strikes. Mike flied out to left his first time up. Here's the next pitch. That's fouled back behind the plate.
There's a changeup you're talking about from Hendricks. That was a good job. Just everything pretty much coordinated with his stride, the balance out over the rubber. And then the reach with his arm, which is a key, as Montero had been telling me, that reach.
There's Trout lifting one high, and he hits it well into left center field. It is out of here. Mike Trout's 4th home run this spring. Little doubt about that one, out to left center field. Angels get a little bit closer. It's now 5-2 Cubs.
Hendricks doesn't get the reach, and Mike Trout lets him know very quickly. Once again, just the explosive sound off of that bat. Short, compact, right to the baseball. And that ball will travel a long ways again.
So Albert will bat. Already had 3 home runs in this game between the 2 teams, and Albert takes that one for a strike. Pujols doubled in the first Angel run. That was back in the bottom of the 1st. And there's a big cut and a miss.
Pujols, Trout, 81 combined home runs last year, 41 for Mike Trout and 40 for Albert Pujols.
They've each hit 4 homers this spring, and Albert takes that one high. 1-2.
17 overall given up by Hendricks last year in the regular season.
Here's the next pitch, and Albert blasts one out of sight into left field. Out of here, home run. Back-to-back homers for the Angels. Now it's 5-3 Chicago.
Well, Mike Mike Social will welcome these anytime as the Angels offense continues to roll here in the Cactus League. And it's been loud. And continues to get louder.
Cole Calhoun can continue the trend here in this inning.
It is a thing of beauty. Number 3 and number 4 back to back.
Albert's club high 5th home run this spring. Calhoun looks at the first pitch low. Hendricks had not allowed a home run this spring in 5 appearances, 4 starts coming into today.
And those are 2 right there that you're not going to be blaming on the wind. Absolute blasts.
Albert's home run came very close to clearing the grass out there, the lawn area where it's loaded up with fans today. Looks like we have standing room only today. Pitch, and that one is inside.
Well, we're talking about a remarkable mark for both of those special players, Terry. And Trout hitting 41 home runs and Pujols hitting 40 last year. But when you're playing half of your games at the Big A, that's quite an accomplishment. With that valley out there and the marine layer you're dealing with early in the season.
Yep. 3-0 on Cole Calhoun, and so after the back-to-back homers, he walks on 4 pitches. Simmons will be the next batter.
Going back to both of those guys, Terry. Pujols 5 home runs in spring training of last year, leading to his 40 in the regular season. And Mike Trout, 5 home runs, also in spring training, leading to his 41 in the regular season.
Montero just went out, had a brief word with Hendricks, the pitcher.
That combination just could never stop talking hitting.
Pitch on Simmons, drops down a bunt, third base side, but it's going to roll foul. Not a bad idea, but a foul ball.
I agree with you. Keep the pressure on. That's what the Angels pretty much have been doing all throughout the spring. And why Mike Socha is more encouraged. We had a chance to talk to Dino Evil today about the offense and the way it's structured. Mike Socha really praising contact-type hitters. Put the ball in play, cutting down on those strikeouts, especially in crucial situations that make it so much easier for the guy on the mound to exploit those holes.
Hendricks has a new baseball. He'll deliver a throw over to first base, and Cole Calhoun dives back safely. Infield playing it at double play depth again. A toss over to first, and Calhoun is back to the bag. Each team with 6 hits, but the Cubs have a 2-run lead. They lead at 5-3 here, bottom of the 4th. Next delivery, chopped foul right over by the Cubs dugout on the third base side. Angels and Indians here tomorrow. The Cubs will be here in Arizona through Wednesday, and they also are going to play a couple more games before they play the Angels in the exhibition game at the Big A. There's a shot into left center. It's going to fall in, and it's going to be a double. Runners at second and third. Simmons follows Calhoun with a double, and now the Angels have the tying run at second base. Still nobody out, and the batter will be Carlos Perez.
We're talking about putting the ball in play, making contact, and for Andrelton Simmons, the attempt at bunt is how everything starts, and then a great follow through on that swing with 2 hands, letting go later on as he makes contact, looking for the outspeed. And he hit that ball there, Terry, close to those 2 guys out there with Simba's pride on them. He was aiming in that direction.
So here's Perez. He has a chance to tie this game up. Base hit might do it. Here's the pitch, and that's in there for a strike. The Cubs are actually going to play a couple of exhibition games later this week on Thursday and Friday in Las Vegas, and they will be taking on the New York Mets.
That's been a tradition for them. Many teams have done that.
Here's a bouncing ball under the glove of the pitcher. Stopping it behind second is Stella, but he has no throw. That's going to be an infield hit. Coming in and scoring is Cole Calhoun. Now it's a 5-4 Chicago lead, and the Angels have them at the corners and still no outs. So Hendricks hasn't recovered at all from the back-to-back homers that started off the inning. He has yet to retire a single batter in this inning. He'll be facing his 6th hitter here in the bottom of the 4th, and the batter will be Soto.
You talk about the Angels also making an adjustment second time around the order against Hendricks and staying on pitches a little bit longer than they were the first time around.
First pitch on Soto. He takes that one for a ball, 1-0.
Staying on pitches, watching the ball all the way into that glove. As you see a ball and track it in, now you have a better idea as to what every single pitch is doing. Is approaching the hitting zone, swing or not.
And the next pitch, that's in there for a called strike, 1-1. Soto began his big league career with the Cubs, and he was the National League Rookie of the Year with them back in 2008. Former 11th round pick of the Cubs back in 2001. Here's the next pitch, taken for a strike, 1-2.
That year, he put on quite a show for a catcher in Chicago, young catcher. Power, production, RBIs. Presence behind the plate.
In that rookie season, he hit .285 with 23 homers, drove in 86, winning the Rookie of the Year award in the NL. Takes that one for a ball. 2-2, the count on Soto. Now 33 years old. He'll be one of the Angel catchers. And the regular season gets underway next Monday. Here's the next pitch. That's low. So Soto has worked a full count in this inning. Homer, walk, double, single. And now a full count on Soto. Here's the next pitch. Swing and a miss. Runner goes for second. Throw to second. It is late, and then breaking in from third base is Simmons. It'll be a delayed double steal. The Angels end up stealing home, and now it's a 5-5 ball game.
It's pretty much what we've seen all throughout the spring, especially the last couple of weeks, on just adding more and more pressure. As the innings build, the pressure on the catcher, on the fielders, on the pitcher, and we see it once again come to fruition here.
So Carlos Perez, the catcher, steals second, and Simmons ends up stealing home. Here's Giavotella batting now, and he fouls that one off. So a 5-5 ball game. The Angels have rallied here with 4 to tie things up.
And as Gary DiSarcina, Angels first base coach, was telling us after the game 2 days ago, Ron Renicky, coaching third base now, has a lot to do to just creating more awareness for the guys, anticipating, putting some plays on, and certainly maintaining that aggressiveness. Terry's been on display, and guys are feeling more and more comfortable with it. Thanks to Ron Renicky, who did the same thing when he joined the Dodgers last year.
The Dodgers were having all sorts of trouble with their third base coaching situation before Renicky took over. Here's a ball bounced to third. It's fielded by Bryant. His throw sails by the first baseman Rizzo. Going into third, and now being waved home is Perez, and he will score. Angels have a 6-5 lead.
This is pretty much a run until I stop in once again. Creating awareness is a key here. Angels suffer a scare though at first base as the throw gets away from Rizzo. And an errant throw by Bryant, but Johnny Giavotella took a face first dive over as he tripped over the bag, trying to go around Rizzo, and he actually kicked Rizzo by accident. And it seems like Johnny is fine.
So Bryant, the third baseman, will be charged with an error. No hit on that play for Giavotella. No run batted in. But the Angels have taken a 6-5 lead with a 5-run inning.
So look at this, Terry. Starts with power. Then comes the patience. Then comes the added pressure against the fielders. All in a space of 7 batters.
Here's the pitch. And that one is low on Escobar. 1 ball, no strikes. Already 2 errors in this ball game against the Cubs. Next delivery, this is chopped on an easy hop to short. The flip to second and the relay to first is going to be in time. A double play ball will end the inning. Angels have already hit into 3 double plays, but a big inning. 5 spot for the Angels here in the 4th. A 6-5 lead for the Angels as we head to the 5th on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Angels bring in left-handed reliever Greg Molly, who has done a nice job for the Halos this spring. Molly trying to win a bullpen spot for the Angels. Gets ready to pitch in his 10th game. In 10 innings, he's allowed 10 hits, only 2 runs earned, 3 walks, 7 strikeouts. ERA this spring is 1.80. So he'll face some left-handed hitters here in this inning. Hayward is one of them. He leads the inning off. Tropiano worked 4 innings. He allowed 6 hits, 5 runs earned, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, and 2 home runs allowed.
And I think Mike Socha strategically goes out and says, let me get Molly in here against Jason Hayward. Molly could surprise a lot of people and perhaps crack this roster here at the end. It can't happen.
Yeah. There's a pitch inside. Also, Anthony Rizzo will be the 3rd batter up in the inning, another left-handed batter.
So Terry, why not, right?
Yeah, well, we've talked about some difficult decisions involving the pitching staff, and especially in the bullpen. I mean, the Angels have had a lot of relievers pitch well here in camp, but there's only so many spots on that opening day roster for the bullpen. There's one on the outside corner. That's a called strike.
Mike Socha each day reinforces and says it. Well, if the guys are making it tough on us, that means that they are doing their jobs. But really, it may not be fun for us, but certainly it does bring some joy to know that we have some talent to pick from.
Here's one bounce right to first. Tricky hop. Albert stays right with it. Flips to Molly, and they get Hayward easily for the first out.
Also, in terms of the rotation, Terry, as we understand, there will be some pitchers throwing in minor league camp instead of making the regular appearances in the Cactus League as the Angels get ready to break camp tomorrow. Matt Shoemaker slated to pitch tomorrow in the minor league game, and so is Jared Weaver on Wednesday to keep him stretched out. And from there on, Mike Socha says, let's see what happens.
There's the pitch, and that's a strike. Tomorrow, when Garrett Richards wraps up the Arizona portion of spring training, the Angels will also use Tyler Skaggs in that game tomorrow as well. He might go 3 innings tomorrow. Speaking of Skaggs, and Richards, maybe about 6 innings.
That's the way it's supposed to. The way it's mapped out right now is for Richards to get to 6, and for Skaggs to be stretched out to 3 after 2 terrific innings in his debut.
Here's the 1-1 on Bryant. Hits it well into left field, but in left, misjudging the ball is Choi. Now it'll roll by him and all the way out to the wall. Headed for third base will be Bryant. The throw is nowhere near anyone, but backing up is Escobar near the mound to scoop it up. Choi struggled on that one. He kind of got caught in between. He didn't get a good break in. Then he started to charge in, but never got to the point where he could catch it. He went lunging, and it got by him and rolled all the way out to the wall. They're going to score it a triple.
And not an easy one to read, because he starts back, and as the way Chris Bryant hit that baseball, had a lot of topspin. And once you commit one way or the other, you got to decide, okay, if I commit and the ball drops, I got to try to keep it in front of me. But one thing that was noticeable there is the inexperience with Choi out in left field.
Yeah, no doubt. So here's the left-handed hitting Anthony Rizzo at the plate. They have the tying run at third, 1 away, and the pitch on Rizzo, that's inside.
Terry, those stop spins, man, they are tough, man. If you get off to a bad start first step, it is very hard to recover.
One ball, no strikes. Next pitch in there for a called strike. Mike Scioscia was also mentioning today that C.J. Wilson will be returning with the Angels back to Southern California. Not that he's going to be anywhere close to pitching yet, but he will be monitored, at least initially, back in Southern California, as opposed to staying back here for extended spring training in Arizona.
So in other words, there's going to be more rest for C.J. Wilson in rehab and therapy with the staff.
There's a pitch that Rizzo checked on, and that ball got away from Perez. The runner at third base, Bryant, did not break for the play. I think there was a little bit of confusion whether or not that ball was foul tipped or not.
And with C.J. Wilson, the issue is not his elbow, where he had surgery last year, is the shoulder tendonitis that is backing him up.
Here's the 2-2. That is a called third strike. Rizzo out looking. That's a huge out right there. And Molly certainly passing the test here in this inning. He got Hayward easily, a left-handed batter, and now he gets Rizzo, their cleanup man, left-handed hitter, on a called third strike.
And Rizzo, a good hitter against lefties himself, was baffled, as Molly could be a very uncomfortable at bat against lefties the way he drops down. So the Gaucho getting it done right now, and for sure Mike Scioscia, Charles Nagy, the pitching coach, taking notes on the approach.
Here's Soler at the plate, cuts and misses the first pitch for strike one.
So go back and talk, Terry, about the talented young Cubs. Jorge Soler does not have a spot to play regularly.
Here's Molly's next pitch. That's outside.
Think about that. How many teams with a guy like Soler will have a spot guaranteed for him?
Soler just 24 years old. And here's the next pitch, grounded sharply, but right to short. Long throw by Simmons, gets it there in time, and Molly is able to survive the inning here despite the misplay by Choi in left field. No runs in the inning. They had a hit, no errors. They leave a runner at third. Bottom of the fifth is up next. 6-5 Angels on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. G-Man Choi leads off the Angels, bottom of the fifth. Halo's up 6-5. First pitch was taken for ball one, and the next delivery. This is lined into center field. Hayward is going back, reaches up, and makes a nice running catch on a ball that was hit hard to straightaway center.
He makes it look easy in center field and right field, wherever he plays, running the bases. You talk about a presence. The guy's a big guy, man. It just moves so effortlessly out there. Excellent catch there by Hayward.
Mike Trout, the batter. Trout got the Angels going last inning, led the inning off with a home run, and things kept getting better after that. Here's the pitch. In there for a called strike. No action in the bullpen right now for the Cubs. Looks like the Angels have some action in the bullpen behind the wall out there in right field.
Nice job, Greg Molly. One inning and got the job done. Working out of a jam.
Looks like left-hander Lucas Litke is the pitcher warming up for the Angels in the bullpen. 1-2 now on Trout. Here's the next pitch, and did Trout go after that one? No, on the appeal. Say he was holding. Two balls, two strikes. Here's the next delivery. Trout takes that one low, so it's a full count. Fans, don't forget Experian. Let's get serious about your credit. Go to Experian.com today. And today's game being brought to you by In-N-Out Burger. That's what a hamburger is all about. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Popped in the air. Foul on the right side. That one is going to push back out of play.
Always a lot of exchanges, a lot of looks, a lot of gestures, reminders between Pujols, who's on deck, and Mike Trout. Once in a while, we'll see Trout just take a little glimpse out there to see what Albert sees, and Albert quickly will point something out of the shoulder.
Here's the 3-2, and that's ball four. So Trout has a one-out walk. That walk is the second one surrendered by Hendricks today, and here's Albert. Well, looks like we're going to have Craig Gentry come in to pinch run for Mike Trout. Will probably take over for him in center field as well. So Trout has an early exit. Here's the pitch on Pujols, and that's in there for a called strike.
For some of these regular players, I anticipate this will be their last appearance in the Cactus League.
Here's the next pitch. That's tipped foul right by the plate. Well, it's hard to believe that tomorrow will be the final game here in Arizona in Cactus League play. We got started with the spring training games on March the 2nd, so 26 days ago.
Yeah, that was Santiago on the mound against Samardzija over in Scottsdale.
That's right.
Just like that, Terry. See ya.
How time flies, Jose.
Goodness. Always a fun time down here in Tempe.
Here's the next pitch. This is skied in the air, infield, on the grass. Coming in is the third baseman, and that is Bryant to make the grab on that. Boy, Albert, I don't know that he could hit one any higher. Didn't travel very far. It's the second out. Cole Calhoun, the batter.
I think what we know, as Poole says, I should have hit that one even further than I hit the one back in the fourth inning. That swing got way too long. He knows it.
Angels with a 6-5 lead, batting in the bottom of the fifth. Lead has seesawed back and forth. So far, each team has had a 5-run inning. And there's the pitch. It's outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Here's the next pitch. And that one is a little bit low and outside. Tempe Diablo Stadium is busy on this Monday. A big crowd to see the Angels and the Cubs, and they'll square off opening day next Monday at the Big A. The pitch that's fouled back upstairs and out of play.
And for the Cubs, Terry, no matter if it's spring training, regular season at home or on the road, they have always been an attraction. So much tradition, even without having won, of course, in so many years. But just the many family stories and ties to that great ballpark in Wrigley that we hear year after year that comes out of Chicago, and people that grew up in Chicago have moved all around the country, all around the world, but certainly they love their Cubbies, and even more now that they're good.
Cubs won 97 games last year. It was only their 12th winning season in the last 43 years. And always had that label as the lovable losers, which they have been for a number of decades, but they're not losers anymore. They're a very good team.
Well built all the way from the minor leagues, scouting, front office personnel, evaluators, to the big leagues. And Terry, no Cubs broadcaster has ever said we're all champions. Remember that. There's no radio back then.
That's right.
Last time they won.
1908, the last time they won the World Series. There's a pitch that's cut on and missed. Runner breaks for second. The throw is late. So that's going to be a stolen base. That's Gentry, who's running for Trout, stealing that one.
That's a dimension Gentry will bring to you. We're talking to Dino Ebel today, even to Alfredo Griffin, Angels infield coach, a long-time major leaguer, long-time first base coach. He says Gentry has something about him that is going to really present a threat to us, the opponents, later in games with that speed.
There's a pitch. This is lined right at the center fielder, and Hayward is there making the grab. Angels hit a few balls hard in the inning, but nothing to show for it. The scoreless bottom of the fifth. The sixth is next. The 6-5 Angels lead on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. A lot of changes out in the field for the Angels as we head to the top of the sixth. Angels have a 6-5 lead. The new pitcher is left-hander Lucas Litke. And as he wraps up his warm-up tosses, this is his 8th appearance this spring. He has a save, and in 7 innings he's allowed 7 hits, 3 earned runs, 4 walks, 4 strikeouts. He replaces Molly, who had a scoreless top of the 5th inning, allowing a hit, and he struck out 1. Ji-Man Choi, who was in left field, is now taken over at first base. Albert Pujols' day is done. Johnny Giovitello's left the game. He's replaced at second by Ray Navarro. Yunel Escobar's day is done. The third baseman, he's replaced by Jeffrey Marte. And that's ball one here on Montero. It's 1 ball, no strikes. And in the outfield, a bit of a different look with Craig Gentry staying in the game. He's in left. And now in center field is Rafael Ortega. Here's one bounced right near short, fielded there by Simmons, and his throw is in plenty of time to get Montero. One quick out here to start off the sixth. Tommy La Stella is the batter. Fans, don't forget, register your little angel for the 2016 Junior Angels Kids Club for only $18. Members receive 4 ticket vouchers, a Junior Angels lunch bag, and other exclusive gifts. Sign up today at angels.com/Junior Angels. Stella's had a 1-for-2 day, and he takes a first pitch fastball up and in. It's 1-0.
As you talk about the defensive changes there, we cannot ignore the job that Todd Cunningham has done here for the Angels. Cunningham now in right field. He's hitting .360.
And there's one that's lined into right field, and he's going to have to run that one down. Going up to second is La Stella, and he is there with a 1-out double.
Solid contact there. Lefty approach. It didn't matter. La Stella has looked good all throughout this ballgame, starting with that single and a prolonged at bat in the third inning against Tropiano. There's a lot of things Joe Madden, Cubs manager, says he likes about La Stella's game. Calls him a tough out. The former Brave Tommy La Stella.
So at the plate is Almora, and the first pitch he takes it for ball one. Here's the next delivery. A little bit high with that one. 2 balls, no strikes.
Very interesting. Noticing, of course, former teammates La Stella and Anderton Simmons have a nice conversation around second base. Simmons, who has a tendency and does very well in playing more to the pull side of the infield.
Here's a liner right at Marte, the third baseman, and he catches that one kind of crouching down a little bit like a catcher to nab that one. It was hit right at him. Low line drive out. 2 gone. And Kyle Hendricks will bat. First pitch, and this one is hit on a high hop to third. It's fielded there by Marte. The throw is in time, and the inning is over. So Mickey has a clean top of the 6th. We're headed to the bottom of the inning. Angels still up by a run, 6-5 on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Andrelton Simmons is the batter for the Angels. This might be his final at bat today, and he cuts at the first pitch and fouls that one back for strike one.
Yeah, that's Mike Scioscia's idea. Get these regular players 3 at bats before some of them make the trek over to Southern California.
Here comes the next pitch, the 0-1, and it's fouled back again to the screen, so the count is 0-2. A few changes defensively for the Cubs. They have Yunenori Kawasaki now at third base. Chris Bryant, who was playing there, has moved to left field. And Albert Almora, who is playing left, is now in center. And there's a ball smacked just past the new third baseman, Kawasaki. Going to roll down into foul ground in left field. Easily getting to second without a throw will be the leadoff man, Andrelton Simmons. That's his 3rd hit today, and he will be lifted for a pinch runner.
It's been a nice spring for Andrelton Simmons, who started off pretty slow. I recall that 0 for 8, and then he has absolutely turned on the Jets. Came into this game hitting .306, a nice 3 for 3. And it looks like he gives in to Gregorio Petit at second base.
He's the new runner out there. And here's Carlos Perez showing signs of bunting and ends up taking that one for strike one.
So Simba's pride must be feeling pretty good today, Terry, as Andrelton does not disappoint.
Here's the next pitch. There is a bunt on the third base side. That'll easily get the runner to third. It's fielded by the pitcher, Hendricks. He throws the first in time. That sacrifice bunt will go 1-4. At first base, pitcher to second baseman covering first.
There's a bottom of the order opportunity to go out there and perform, put on some plays that Mike Scioscia really would love to utilize throughout the regular season.
So here's Soto, the DH. He's had an 0 for 2 day. Angels trying to add on, have a runner at third, 1 out. First pitch, a little bit low and outside.
Previous at bat, when Soto struck out, Albert Pujols was on the railing, and you can hear him say, "You're too quick, you're too fast, stay back." And then once Soto struck out, Pujols was waiting for him in that dugout.
Next delivery, that one is taken, then a snap throw up the third base side, and diving back to the bag goes Petit, the pinch runner.
It's a heck of a play by Kawasaki, making that stop and saving Montero another error. He already committed a very costly one back in the first inning. Kawasaki, Terry, as many people say, one of the best teammates ever. Ever.
Here's the 2-0. It's a strike. He had been with the Toronto Blue Jays for a number of seasons. Two balls, 1 strike. And the next pitch, that's chopped foul over on the left side. Fly ball that's lifted down the right field side, chasing after it, but running out of room will be Soler. It's going to get back to the seats, so it's still 2-2 on Soto. There's 1 out. The infield is in for the Cubs, and there's a swing and a miss at a 2-2 pitch. Forward with Soto, struck him out for the second time.
That's exactly what Pujols was talking about, with Soto just being too quick. In other words, a little too jumpy.
So Joe Madden is coming out to the mound, and they will bring in a new pitcher. So Hendricks is lifted. We have a break in the action. Angels still batting here in the 6th. Leading 6-5 pitching change coming up on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. New pitcher for the Cubs is lefty Clayton Richard. He takes over for Kyle Hendricks, and he's trying to get the final out in this inning for Chicago. We'll give you Hendricks' numbers in just a moment. Richard, a year ago, 23 games for the Cubs, 3 as a starter, at a 4-2 record, 3.38 ERA. He's a big left-hander, and the pitch, it's grounded right to short. This should be the inning. Fielded there by Zobrist, and thrown just in time to get Ortega, and the inning is over. For the Angels here in the 6th, 4 runs and a hit. Leave a runner at third. We're headed to the 7th inning. It's 6-5 Angels on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. .65 Angels as we head to the 7th here in Tempe. The score update, it's brought to you by Experian. Get serious about your credit by visiting Experian.com. Before we get things started here in the 7th, let's pause for stations to identify themselves on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. So Fernando Salas is getting set to work. His 9th appearance this spring, 7 innings. He's allowed 6 hits, 2 runs, 4 walks, 2 strikeouts, ERA of just over 2.5. And his first delivery on Zobrist, that's right in there for strike 1. Salas replacing Litke, who pitched last inning in the 6th and retired 3 of the 4 that he faced.
And Fernando, part of that large group and thick group, Terry, that's hard to crack right now with the Angels bullpen.
Here's the next one on Zobrist. He pops one in the air down the left field side. It's going to be the new shortstop, Gregorio Petit, who makes the catch in fair territory on the outfield grass, very tight to the line. And that'll be the first out. Don't forget, every fan matters when the Angels take on the Texas Rangers. That's coming up on April the 7th at the Big A. Game time 7:05. Fans in attendance will receive a Mike Trout, Albert Pujols double bobblehead. It's courtesy of Pechanga Resort and Casino while supplies last. Now visit Angels.com or call 714-4-ANGELS to purchase your tickets. Operators are standing by. Here's Kawasaki batting for the first time today, and he takes that one for strike 1. Kawasaki's hitting out of Jason Hayward's number 2 spot. Hayward was 1 for 3 with a 3-run homer. Next pitch on the left-handed batter. He takes that one, and hello there, misses for a ball.
A little drama in him right now, huh? The style, the way he's taking those pitches. He's got some flair to him.
Salas with the next delivery. And Kawasaki taking that one inside. So it's 2 balls and 1 strike.
Terry, he's got the busy feet going on out there. Teammates are having a great time watching this. I mean, it's quite a show.
He's really had a good spring. He's trying to make their opening day roster after signing a minor league deal in the offseason. He's hitting .395. He's had 38 at bats this spring.
A great teammate, but also a productive player. Versatile. Didn't he sing to this club in the clubhouse and stuff like that?
He did.
Yeah.
And the pitch, he took a big cut at that one and misses it. It's 3-2. I think he wasn't he doing his Elvis Presley impersonation or something?
He was. He's got all of his teammates on the dugout railing watching this at bat. Quite a display right here.
Here's the 3-2, and he fights that one off, fouls it off on the left side out of play.
Guys are having quite a laugh out there.
Yeah, it was a few weeks ago. They had kind of a karaoke day that Joe Madden had for their morning meeting. Joe likes to keep it lively in that clubhouse.
Oh, you think?
And the 3-2, and Salas throws that one by him. He came back. He was behind in the count and struck him out number 2.
Salas reaching back, rears back, and just explosively throws that fastball by Kawasaki. With Fernando Salas' strength of that fastball, everything down in the zone, movement, little extra zip, but also that changeup.
So here's Bryant, who's had a 1-for-3 day. First pitch, takes that one low. One ball, no strikes. Angels 6 runs, 9 hits. Cubs 5 runs, 8 hits. As that one is fouled back to the screen. 1-1 on Bryant.
So Terry, here he is, the lift driver, the exported European players.
Amateur baseball superstar.
Oh, he's great. Chris Bryant hit 9 home runs last spring, and he was the talk of the valley, man.
There's a called strike. 1-2 the count.
Well, you know, getting called up a little bit later did cost him driving in 100 runs, though.
Finished with 99 last year.
Nonetheless, boy, he is a great face for the game of baseball.
So the 1-2 pitch, that's low and outside. Today's attendance, it's a sellout. The Angels 5th this spring, 9,059, 9059. Angels also have gone over the 100,000 mark in spring training home attendance for the 5th year in a row.
Once again, a terrific attendance all the way around. Support the Angels are getting all throughout this area, but also the many of the Angels fans are so loyal to make that trip from Southern California. They can follow the Angels not only here in Tempe, but go all around here in the Cactus League with closer distances. It's a lot of fun to see so much red pretty much everywhere we go.
Here's the payoff pitch, and it's popped in the air down the right field side, coming over toward the line and making the catch in fair ground right near the foul line. Medium right field is Todd Cunningham, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Salas. The bottom of the 7th is next. 7th inning stretch time. The Angels leading the Cubs 6-5 on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Have a number of changes defensively for the Cubs as we get things started here in the Angels 7th, bottom of the 7th. First batter up will be Jeffrey Marte, and he is going to face a new pitcher. Justin Grimm will take over for Clayton Richard. So right-hander against right-hander, and the pitch, the first one is a first pitch fastball. It's very high for ball 1. New catcher is Tim Fedorovich. It's with the Dodgers not too long ago. It's a new first baseman, Jacob Rogers. Logan Watkins is now at shortstop. And the pitch, that's a foul tip, and the count 1-1 And it looks like they also have a new right fielder, and that is Jacob Hanneman. One ball, one strike. Here's the next pitch. Called strike on the outside part of the plate. This is Marte's first at bat today. There's one that Marte tries to hold up on, and he went around, struck him out. So one away, and G-Man Choi will be the batter.
Grimm was a fastball up in the zone that Marte pretty much saw very well, but boy, he kept looking for that harder one, and Grimm absolutely read into that and finished him off out of the zone.
So here's Choi. He's officially 0 for 3, although he has scored a run. Hit the ball hard his last time up, but lined out. And the first pitch here, he takes it for ball 1.
Justin Grimm out of Bristol, Tennessee. He will get his strikeouts. Originally with the Texas Rangers, started back in 2012. Last year with the Cubs.
Here's the pitch. That's lined down the left field side. It's going to land foul down around the Cubs open air bullpen.
It's been a guy that really has taken the ball. For the Cubs, 73 appearances in 2014 and 62 last season. The present strikeout number, 67 strikeouts last year and 49 2/3 innings. Only 31 hits allowed. Excellent 1.99 ERA back in 2015. Opponent average 178. We can see why. He's got a very good arm.
On the changes defensively this inning here in the bottom of the 7th for the Cubs. Get to it after the pitch. That's fouled off on the left side. Soler is still in the game in right field. Hanneman has come into play left field. That's where Bryant had moved for an inning or two after beginning the game as the Cubs' third baseman. Here's the next pitch, and that's high. So it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the next delivery, taken by Choi outside, so it's a full count, 3-2. Angels still clinging to the 1-run lead, and on the 3-2, that one is going to bounce past the catcher Fedorovich. That's ball 4. So Choi is on for the second time today, still without a hit, but he's been getting on base a few times, and now Craig Gentry will be the next batter.
A good job there by G-Man. Watching closely as how Grimm approached Marte, a right-handed batter. So what the fastball was doing, but mainly he showed a lot of discipline on those breakables down and out of the zone. Continues to get a prolonged look by the Angels. Choi, a Rule 5, who has every chance to be on this roster.
So here's Gentry's first at bat, and he hits that one sharply. Fouls it off over by the Angels' first base dugout. Justin Grimm, very good ERA last year with the Cubs, 1.99. And Opponent's hitch is 178 against them. Gentry had backed out of the box, now back in there. Taps the plate with the bat. Waits the next pitch, and ready to deliver is Grimm. Here it comes. That's in there for a called strike. Fans, don't forget, if your computer is running slow, go to mycleanpc.com. Get a free computer diagnosis. In minutes, you can activate MyClean PC software to clean out the junk that may be slowing down your computer. Visit mycleanpc.com. 2 strikes here on Gentry, deep in the hole. There goes the runner. The pitch, it is low. Throw down to second. Got him. Troy is gunned down. Pretty close play. Strong throw by the new catcher, Fedorovich, for out number 2.
It's a pretty good releaser by Fedorovich coming into this game. As sometimes that arm's not totally warmed up, but a great job by a veteran catcher. Young catcher, the nose understands the importance of being a good catch and throw, being ready for any type of situation later in the game, and anticipate it well, as the way Mike Socha has been having these Angels run. And Choi was no surprise.
So on the 1-2, that one bounced by Fedorovich. No one on base, though. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Mentioned a little bit earlier that Angels will have 2 games at home against the Cubs, 2 games later on in the summer at Wrigley Field. We visit Wrigley Field. That ballpark, the second oldest in the majors. Fenway Park opened up a couple years before Wrigley Field. Wrigley Field now 102 years old.
It is a different Wrigley Field from what we saw a few years back when the Angels visited.
It is. 2-2 delivery. That is a called third strike, and Gentry is out looking, and a pretty good inning for Grimm. He strikes out 2 of 3. We're headed to the 8th. Angels up 6-5 on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Angels bring in pitcher number 5 of the day. Javi Guerra replaces Fernando Salas, and Salas did a nice job, a clean top of the 7th. So here we are in the 8th, 6-5 Angels. Jacob Hanneman batting for the first time, swings left-handed against Guerra, and the first pitch, ball 1. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Guerra has done a good job for the Angels. He's trying to fight his way onto the opening day roster somewhere in that Angel bullpen. Here's the next delivery. It's fouled off on the left side, backing out of play. Guerra appearing for the 9th time this spring. He's worked 9 innings, allowing 8 hits, 3 earned runs. He has walked 3 in those 9 innings, striking out 9.
He has really helped his cause by being around the plate and showing it's still a lot left in that power arm.
And there's a called strike on the outside corner against Hanneman.
Charles Nagy, Angels pitching coach, has found for Guerra, who was straight over the top, pretty much a comfort zone 2, with his arm slot in throwing that overhand curveball more consistently.
1-2 delivery. Hanneman was jammed, bounces one down to third. It's right at Marte, and his throw is in time to Choi. 1 gone. Soler will be the next batter. Want to remind you, the 20-game flex plan offers a variety of game options to choose from. It includes opening night, premium matchups, and popular promotional giveaway nights. You can visit angels.com/ticket plans.
As we're talking about last names Guerra, the other Guerra that was in camp with the Angels, Deolis Guerra officially signed a minor league deal with the team. He cleared waivers and then elected free agency and said, okay, I'll sign back with the Angels. Mike Socha does like the arm and obviously the size, the repertoire of Deolis Guerra. He just needs some command things to fix out, but Mike Socha thinks at one point he will be part of the Angels bullpen.
The 1 pitch, that's a little bit high. 1 ball, 1 strike on Soler, who's had an 0 for 3 day. A couple ground outs to short. He's also flied out to right. Here's the pitch. Cut and a miss. 1-2 the count.
Bobby Guerra, plenty of experiences in the big leagues, over 140 appearances. A former Dodgers closer.
Here's the 1-2. That's fouled back to the screen.
Jorge Soler out of Cuba. This big man takes a hack. It'll be interesting to see what the Cubs decide to do with him, as there's no guaranteed playing time in that outfield that's stacked for them.
1-2 pitch. He checks on that one, and that one misses low.
And the Cubs have plenty of years of control over Jorge Soler.
Soler signed a 9-year deal with the Cubs when he fled Cuba.
How about that?
And he's in the 5th year of that deal. Here's the next pitch. He pops this one back foul, back behind the plate. Soler really hit well in the postseason for the Cubs a year ago. Division series, he hit over .570, and in the NL Championship Series, he hit over .400.
Did a great job.
Had 3 postseason homers for the Cubs last postseason. Here's the next pitch. Chopped down to third. Easy hop for Marte. His throw right on the money. Couple of ground outs to third. 2 gone here in the 8th.
The Cubs eventually beaten, Terry, by the team that went out to the World Series, the New York Mets.
Here's Tim Fedorovich set to bat. This will be his first time up. Had 8 hits, 28 at bats, couple home runs for the Cubs this spring, and he takes that one for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Fedorovich has had the reputation of being a good catch and throw guy behind the plate. Had some injury issues back to right knee surgery last year. He got injured in spring training last year.
It's unfortunate the way his career has gone, only because he was at one point guaranteed to be a guy who was going to see a lot of innings behind the plate for the Dodgers.
Counts 2 balls and no strikes on Fedorovich. And that one misses low and outside. So they're behind 3-0. Javi Guerra ready. No shift on, and the next pitch right in there for a called strike.
Angels looking pretty solid, Terry, all the way around. Looking, starting with Street, Smith. We were talking about this bullpen. It's got some names and some battles all the way to the end. Salas, Bedrosian.
There's a bouncing ball by the mound. That one's going to skip through into center field. So Fedorovich gets a 2-out hit. Cubs have the tying run on. And Tommy LaStella, their second baseman, who's gone all the way, will be the next batter.
We talk about the bullpen. And the battles are still going on. Molly continues to impress once again today. Alvarez did a solid job for the Angels last year. Albuquerque, who perhaps is waiting to see what will happen with him. But he signed a 1-year deal after being non-tendered by the Tigers. Got Corey Rasmus, multiple inning guy.
Here's the pitch. That's low, and it gets past the catcher, and that's going to go all the way back to the backstop. So bouncing that one in was Guerra by Carlos Perez, and moving up the second is Fedorovich, who represents the tying run.
Talking more bullpen arms, it's good to see, Terry, the way Mike Morin has bounced back. He could be a key clock for the Angels. And Morin's got the fastball back at 94, 95. He's got a slider now that he can control better. And, of course, he's always had that plus changeup.
Yeah, for me, he's a lock in the bullpen.
He's got to be.
I'm not making any decisions here, but from my standpoint, there's a pitch that was taken and then a snap throw up to second, and back goes Fedorovich.
As Mike Socha says, every single layer has been peeled back. He continues to be peeled back. There's so many difficult decisions to be made, especially when you're not going to need a fifth starter until perhaps April 11th as everything stays in place.
1 ball, 2 strikes to count.
And one of those decisions will be Jared Weaver, how he comes out of Wednesday's start in the minor leagues. If he needs more time, he could be the guy pushed back. But Weave keeps saying, I am ready, and I'm going to use that start to tune in for my regular season start.
Here's the 1-2, and there's a little flare in the left center field. It's going to drop in, and that'll tie up the ball game. It just landed in between Gentry and Ortega. And a base hit for LaStella with 2 outs. His 3rd hit of the day ties this game up at 6.
There's a reason why Joe Madden has great eyes for talent and also for guys that have a great aptitude for the game, and one of them is Tommy LaStella. Joe Madden is the one guy that does not miss a beat when it comes down to not just looking at the numbers, but he loves looking at action. Batting practice, guys' attitude, guys keeping their heads up, how they bounce back after adverse times, all those things really add up to a player's character.
So first pitch here, that one's a little bit low. Pinch runner for LaStella is Chesney Young over at first base, number 89. Here's the next pitch, cut and a miss as Almora chased that one. Almora began the game in left field. He's playing center field now, and he's gone 1 for 2. One ball, 1 strike, the count. Here's the next pitch. That's low and outside. Oh, Javi Guerra got the first 2 batters out easily. Back-to-back groundouts to Marte at third base. But then he gave up the 2-out hit to Fedorovich. Wild pitched him up the second. And LaStella brought him in. And the next delivery, here's a pickoff toss that gets away over at first base, and heading on to third is that pinch runner Young. The throw is late. It gets away, but backing up is Guerra over at third base. So an error on the pickoff move over to first puts the potential go-ahead runner at third with 2 outs. Angels commit error number 1 today. So Javi Guerra's throwing error, advancing that runner 2 bases.
And not much G-Man Choi could have done about that one. He absolutely just sailed one like a slider type throw to first base.
So Guerra trying to get out of this trouble now. The pitch, it's popped in the air, shallow right field. It's going to drop in for an RBI hit. And that'll give the Cubs the lead, 7-6.
There's another youngster coming through. Speed. And that switch at first base by Joe Madden paying off. And provoking that throw, the errant throw that allows Young, the pinch runner, to get to third base. And then again with 2 outs, Almora comes through, and that young player's looked really good here today.
So they've had 3 straight 2-out hits. The last couple driving in runs. Angels down by 1 as Jacob Rogers, who's now playing first base, will bat for the first time. There's a pickoff toss to first, and just diving back to the bag goes Almora.
Yeah, there's G-Man Choi trying to calm Javi Guerra down right here. He's really bothered by that ball that dropped in front of the left fielder. Gentry, and of course even more by the one that just dropped in front of Cunningham. And hopefully those things don't derail him here anymore.
Here's the next pitch on Rogers, batting left-handed. He takes that one for a strike to count 0-1. Rogers has had only 2 at-bats for the Cubs this spring with 1 hit. Next pitch, that's high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Fans, here's the deal for you. $19.95 gets you Proactive plus a rotating deep cleansing brush. It's valued at $45. You're guaranteed to get clear and stay clear, or you'll get your money back. Just call 1-800-644-5944. That's 1-800-644-5944. On the 1-1, it's fouled back behind the plate, 1-2.
And after 2 quick outs, now Guerra up to 27 pitches. And most of those coming here in the last 4 batters.
He's set, and the next pitch, and there's a swing and a miss. He got him, struck him out, and that's how the inning will end. But the Cubs get a pair to regain the lead. And as we head to the bottom of the 8th, Chicago leading the Angels 7-6 on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. So the Angels down by a run as we go to the bottom of the 8th. A few changes out in the field for the Cubs. Matt Merton has taken over in right field, replacing Soler. Chesney Young stays in the game. He is now at second. And the new pitcher is Neil Ramirez, who is pitcher number 4 of the day for the Cubs. Grimm worked last inning and faced 3 batters, struck out 2 of them in a scoreless, hitless inning of relief. First delivery on Ray Navarro. It's in there for strike 1. No balls and 1 strike. Right-hander Ramirez set, and next pitch a little bit high with that one and misses for a ball. Neil Ramirez was in 19 games for the Cubs a year ago. It's a guy they have to make a decision on. He's out of options. He was 1-0 with a 3.21 ERA. Gave up just 1 home run in 19 innings of relief last year for them. And the pitch, it's fouled back upstairs, out of play. Numbers for Ramirez this spring, not too good. 7th appearance, 5 innings. He's allowed 7 hits, 7 earned runs. Counts 1-2 on Navarro, who cuts and misses that one. Struck him out. 1 gone here in the Angels' 8th inning.
Neil Ramirez, he is out of Virginia Beach in Virginia. 26-year-old who was acquired. He was claimed off waiver from Texas back in 2013. And as you mentioned, Terry, a guy that because of what he has and possesses, a good arm, man. Good strikeout numbers overall in the big leagues. 68 total strikeouts in his major league career in 69 games and only 57 2/3 innings.
First pitch here on Cunningham, who's batting for the first time, and that's taken for ball 1.
Cutting down on the walks, of course, is something the Cubs will love to see more of from Ramirez, to put together with a good arm and better command.
Wind is really picking up right now. It's kind of swirling, and it's blowing out hard at the moment to left center field.
Well, that could play a role and be a factor here later in the game for the Angels. Let's see.
Cunningham batting .360 this spring. He's gone 9 for 25. Here's the next pitch. Right in there for strike. The bottom of the 8th, being brought to you today by our friends at Rotolo Chevrolet in Fontana. Rotolo Chevrolet is pursuing excellence every day. You can visit them at Rotolo.com. That's Rotolo.com.
Cannot ignore the job Todd Cunningham has done here in camp. Quietly, he's flying under the radar, but certainly a guy that does pay attention to.
And he loops one into left, and a nice grab by Hanneman. Got a good jump running in on that one and kind of caught that one in a kneeling position, sliding in a little bit from left field. Second out, bottom of the 8th. Batter now is Gregorio Petit. Petit has had a nice spring for the Angels, hitting over 300, a couple of home runs. Here's the pitch, taken for strike 1.
Petit, along with Ray Navarro, hoping to get a longer look all the way through the last exhibition game for the Angels. As we know, Cliff Pennington has a lock on one of the backup spots in the infield.
Here's the pitch. That's a little bit low. Pennington is available to play today. In fact, he's kind of stretching out in the dugout right now, so we might see him come in to play somewhere in the infield when we get to the 9th inning. Here's the next pitch. Chopped down the third base side. Looks like an easy play for Kawasaki, and he will roll across the diamond. The inning is over. So Angels go down quietly here in the 8th. The 9th is next. 7-6 Cubs on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Angels will use pitcher number 6 of the day as Corey Rasmus takes over. He replaces Javi Guerra. Guerra worked last inning in the top of the 8th. Gave up 3 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned in 1 inning. Didn't walk any, struck out 1 and threw a wild pitch. And now Rasmus gets ready to work here in the 9th. And this will be his 9th appearance this spring. He's done a nice job. 10 innings of work, 7 hits allowed, just 2 earned runs, 14 strikeouts in those 10 innings, and an ERA of under 2. So it is 7-6 Cubs as we head to the 9th. The batter will be Logan Watkins, and this will be his first at bat today. He's hitting out of Zobrist's leadoff spot. Zobrist was 1 for 3 with a run batted in. Here's the first pitch from Rasmus. A little bit low. We'll check out the Dodge Out of Town scoreboard in just a moment. Brought to you by the Dodge Challenger. With an estimated 30 miles per gallon highway, this car was made for driving. Visit Dodge.com. We'll see what's going on in the Cactus League today. There's a ground ball hit right to second. Bobbled slightly there by Navarro, but recovers and throws out Watkins for out number 1. Kawasaki will bat. They're in the 5th inning. A Royals split squad leading San Diego 9-2. Norris a home run for the Padres. Kane is 3rd this spring for Kansas City. 6th inning. Oakland trailing Cleveland 6-2. The other Royals split squad is playing Seattle today, and that game's in the bottom of the 7th. It's 4-4. And boy, Robinson Cano hit another home run today for Seattle. What, he had 3 yesterday?
He has been torching the Cactus League.
7 home runs now for Cano this spring, and Nelson Cruz hit 1 for Seattle in that game as well, his 4th.
And Cruz have been scuffling here in the spring. No big deal for a guy like that.
Kawasaki just took an 0-1 pitch. It's in there.
What is a big deal, Terry, for the Seattle fans is to know that Robinson Cano is fully back and he is healthy.
And the 2-strike pitch jam was Kawasaki. Fouls that one off. The other game going on in the Cactus League, Colorado hosting the White Sox, and it's 9-4 Chicago. Abreu a home run for the White Sox, his 4th. Story, Blackman, and Cargo. Carlos Gonzalez all with home runs for the Rockies in that one. Trevor Story, who looks like he's going to be the Rockies opening day shortstop. The home run he hit today, his 6th this spring.
That kid had a super year and truly has earned that job. And with the issues off the field for Jose Reyes, Terry, the door's open. And he went right in, man, and
like
put
he
a
walked
step
right
on.
in the door.
Yes.
Right in the doorway. Here's the pitch. Bounced on an easy hop right to second. And making the play on that one is Navarro. Kawasaki is retired. A couple ground outs to the right side of the infield. Matt Merton will be the next batter. Merton is hitting out of Chris Bryant's number 3 spot. He went 1 for 4 today.
He is a familiar name with the Cubs from years back, who went out and also put his name on the map playing in Japan. Big power numbers.
And boy, he just took a big swing right there.
He said he made a nice living in Japan, but it was time to get back here and perhaps try to get it done in the big leagues as a backup.
Right-hander against right-hander. Here's the next pitch. Merton takes that one for a ball. He's had limited at-bats this spring for the Cubs. Just 8 at-bats, but 3 hits, so made the most of it. Here's the next pitch. That ball's drilled into left center field. It is really hit, and that one is gone. Matt Merton with a 2-out solo homer. The Cubs add on, and now it's 8-6 Chicago.
Well, he spent the last 6 seasons with the Hanshin Tigers over in Japan, and boy, he became a hero out there to the fans and in that entire country with that powerful swing. On display here immediately.
So the 3rd home run for the Cubs today. The Angels have hit 2. And the Angels down by 2 here with 2 outs in the 9th. At the plate is Hanneman. The left-handed batter takes inside, ball 1. Rasmus is ready, and here's the next pitch. That's hit sharply but foul on the right side.
Rasmus, a reliever that, like Jose Alvarez, provides Mike Scioscia the option and flexibility of a multi-inning reliever. They're so crucial to begin the season with, as your starters are limited, and you got to bridge that gap between the starters and your late inning relievers. He is ideal.
There's a 1-1 pitch low and inside, 2-1. Looking ahead to the bottom of the 9th, the Angels will be down by at least 2 when we get there. And the batters that are scheduled are Perez, Soto, and Ortega. Here's the 2-1 pitch. It bounces in, and Rasmus having a little trouble getting the final out here.
Well, Terry, a reunion of sorts here for Mike Scioscia. Joe Maddon's on the other side. Buddy Black, Ron Renick are both here. Memories of the 2002 coaching staff and the World Championship for the Angels. Bill Stallman up in the Angels office.
Alfredo Griffin still around.
Exactly.
Here's the pitch. That's lined into right center, and that'll keep the inning going. That'll drop in for a base hit. So Hanneman gets his first hit since coming into the ball game.
We got Hanneman, Fedorovich, Stella, Almora, Burton. All these guys at the last couple of innings have swung about very well for a Cubs team that really has not played good baseball here in the spring, but taking notes and evaluating, knowing the talent that they have is going to show up eventually in the regular season.
This is Jason Vossler who is going to bat. Left-handed batter fouled off the first pitch. Vossler's had 1 hit and 12 times up this spring for the Cubs, and the 1 hit was a home run. Here he chops one on the right side under the glove of Troy. Fielded there, though, by the second baseman Navarro, who flips to Rasmus, and they get the out that way. Good job by Navarro backing up. The inning is over. So we are headed to the bottom of the 9th. Angels down by a pair. It's 8-6 Cubs on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Well, as we head to the bottom of the ninth, the Cubs will be bringing in a young pitcher, 25 years old, Starling Peralta, who pitched in A-ball and Double-A last year. He's from the Dominican Republic, and we'll see how the Angels fare against him. Carlos Perez will lead things off. And as Peralta wraps up his warm-up tosses, let's see how he has fared this spring. He's pitched 1 inning for the Cubs, and he retired all 3 batters he faced with 1 strikeout. So he's trying to get a save for them here today. Perez has gone 1 for 2 officially in this game and takes that pitch for a called strike. Jose is headed downstairs. He'll visit with Angels manager Mike Scioscia right after the end of this ball game. 8-6 Cubs, bottom of the ninth. Here's the pitch. Wave and a miss. No balls, 2 strikes. Peralta, pitcher in the Cubs system, trying to get on the radar screen. He's not regarded as one of their top pitching prospects. There's a chopper foul over on the left side. Fans become a season seat holder to enjoy exclusive benefits and the same seats all season long at the greatest value. Visit angels.com/season seats for more info. Here's the next pitch. That's way low and outside. 1-2 the count. Peralta replacing Ramirez, who set the Angels down 1-2-3 in the bottom of the 8th with a strikeout. Here's the pitch. That's hit well into center field. Going back is the center fielder, and reaching up on that one is Almora to take it out of midair. Boy, Perez couldn't hit that ball any harder. That ball was hit over 400 feet, but it's 420 to straightaway center. Just a long out. 1 gone here in the bottom of the 9th. C.J. Cron is going to pinch hit for Giovanni Soto. Soto went 0 for 3. There's one that's low. 1 ball, no strikes. And the next pitch on Cron. He hits it a mile high down the left side, straddling the foul line, and now dropping the ball in fair ground is the third baseman Kawasaki. So ending up at second will be Cron. That ball got caught in the wind a little bit. It'll be a 2-base error on the third baseman. And Cron, who is safe at second, now will be lifted for a pinch runner.
57,
Bo Way, up from minor league camp, will be the pinch runner for Cron. So he had a very limited amount of action in this ball game. Tying run is at the plate now. Rafael Ortega is the batter. And the pitch, that's in there for a strike. In defense of Kawasaki, who ended up driving that ball in fair ground, the wind played some tricks with that one. Kawasaki had gone over into foul ground. He was behind the coaching box area, and then realized the wind was pushing it back into fair territory. He tried to lunge and had it pop out of his glove in fair ground. But he is charged with an error, and that is the third of the day for the Cubs. 1 ball, 1 strike here on Ortega. Here's the pitch. Chopped foul right into the Angels dugout over on the first base side. C.J. Cron, who reached second base on that ball that Kawasaki, the third baseman, ended up booting. Cron had a 12-game hitting streak this spring coming into today's game. There's one that's fouled off on the left side, backing out of play. 1-2 the count. Eight runs, 13 hits for the Cubs. And the Angels at the moment, 6 runs, 9 hits. Here's the next pitch. This is a high pop-up out near second base. Watkins will give way to the second baseman, Young, who falls down on the dirt behind second but holds onto the ball. So the Cub infielders are getting tested here with some very high pop-ups. And we have bright sunshine now for about the first time all game long. We had played under a heavy cloud cover today. So 2 gone here in the bottom of the 9th. Marte will be the next batter. Angels down to the final out in this ball game. Here's the pitch. It's in there for a called strike on Jeffrey Marte, who struck out his first time up. Here's the next pitch. That's low. It skips off the glove of the catcher, Fedorovich, and moving on to third is that pinch runner Way. Wild pitch, the scoring on that one from Peralta. G-Man Choi would be up next if the Angels can keep this bottom of the 9th alive with 2 outs. Sellout crowd today of over 9,000 here in Tempe. The next to last Cactus League game for the Angels. We'll play the final one here tomorrow, and then still have 4 more exhibition games when the Angels get back to Southern California. Pitch was fouled back by Marte, and now it's 1-2 on him. A lot of the sellout crowd still here to see the end of this ball game. Here's the 1-2 pitch. A little flare in the right center. That's going to drop in, keep the game alive. Way will score, and now it's an 8-7 Cubs lead with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 9th. So Marte delivers. RBI hit. Choi will be the batter. G-Man Choi is officially 0 for 3 today, although he has been on base twice and he has scored a run. Run in this inning is unearned for the Angels, but the Angels will certainly take it. And the first pitch on Choi, he takes that pitch and it misses for ball 1. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Here's the next pitch. That's low and inside. 2-0. Cubs have no action in their bullpen. They do have about 3 other pitchers that they brought here today who they could use if needed. And the next pitch, and that one is outside. It's now 3-0. So Choi can get on, and he did walk his last time up. The batter waiting on deck is Craig Gentry. Here's the 3-0 pitch. Choi takes it like a statue, and it's right in there for a called strike. G-Man Choi has some power. If he gets a hold of something, you never know. Wind has been blowing out most of the day, and the 3-1 pitch, that's high. He draws a walk. So now the tying run will be at second base with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 9th, and we'll see what Gentry can do. Gentry's been up once since coming into the ballgame as a pinch runner back in the bottom of the 5th, and when he batted in the bottom of the 7th, he took a called third strike. Angels have the tying run at second, winning run at first. 2 outs, trailing 8-7, bottom of the 9th. Here's the pitch, and that's low and outside. It's 1-0. We're talking, this was last inning that with Pennington was kind of stretching in the Angels dugout. We were anticipating maybe him coming in to play the field at the top of the inning. Well, he's waiting on deck to pinch hit if we can get to that point in this ball game with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 9th. There's one that's fouled off by Gentry. Back behind the plate. 1-1 to count. Base hit would likely tie up the game. and out, and the Cubs hold on and win it. 1-1 pitch. Didn't miss by much. Boy, that call there went Gentry's way. That was a very close pitch to take right there. Peralta's made 24 pitches here in this bottom of the ninth, and he hasn't gotten through it yet. Here's the next delivery. That's grounded by the mound and through into center field. That's going to tie up the ball game as the throw is way late. So coming through is Gentry. It's now 8-8 with the potential winning run at second base, and Pennington will be coming in to pinch hit for Navarro. Craig Gentry ties it up. Good job by the Angels. Couple here on the bottom of the ninth. We've had some long ninth innings here the last week or so, and this one's working in the Angels' favor right now. Here's the pitch on Pennington. Boy, that was almost a wild pitch. The catcher, Fedorovich, had to stand up to catch that pitch. One ball, no strikes. Pennington pinch hitting. Had a good spring for the Angels. Veteran player. Here's the pitch. He pops it back foul on the left side. That's going to get back and out of play. So 1 ball, 1 strike. 8-8 the score. Let's pause for stations to identify themselves on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Next pitch on Pennington. He rips one foul back to the seats down in that right field corner. He jumped all over that pitch but fouled it off. So it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pennington hitting over 400 this spring for the Angels. This is his 50th at bat this spring. A hit would likely win it. Here's the 1-2. That's lined into right field, but there, coming in, sprawling, and making the grab is Matt Merton on that sinking liner to end the inning. So the Angels end up getting a pair here in the bottom of the ninth. And now we're going to wait and see. It looks like that will be the end of the ball game. The umpires are walking off the field, so this one will end up an 8-8 tie. Angels get the 2 in the bottom of the ninth inning, and the Angels play to their 5th tie this spring. That's only 2 losses now for the Angels in the last 18 games here in Cactus League play. Well, Jose is getting set up over by the Angels dugout, so let's have him take it away with Angels manager Mike Scioscia.
Thanks, Terry. Mike, going to Tropiano, sometimes he said that the evaluation is a little bit tougher here because of the conditions. Is that a case, you think, today with Tropiano?
Well, Trop missed with his fastball for sure. It wasn't quite what he wanted to do. His pitch count was up, but he made some good pitches, some really tough hitters, but unfortunately he just couldn't get the length he wanted.
How happy are you to see how things are coming around offensively with the guys that come into games that perhaps could win some roles for you?
Well, we're scrapping. You know, we're putting balls in play. We're running the base as well, and everyone's having a great spring.
Mike, and then going forward, can you tell us about the plan with the minor league starts scheduled for Shoemaker and Weaver and going forward from there?
Yeah, Shoe will get up to at least 6 times, and same with Jared, and hopefully just evaluate things and see where we are as we get into the weekend.
All right, thank you.
All right, Ozzy.
Terry, all yours, man.
All right, thanks, Jose. Kind of sense Mike Scioscia wants to have a little meeting with Joe Madden and maybe some of their coaches before they leave town here today. Angels and the Chicago Cubs played to an 8-8 tie here at Tempe Diablo Stadium. For those of you watching on TV, Jose, along with Alex Curry, will have a lot more post-game analysis that's coming up in just a moment on Angels Live. We'll have some more for you on the radio side as well from Tempe. This is the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West.